define success.
So, Andrew, so you would have one person in each ward up every election?
Every election, because
Okay.
that way this person would have 2 years left, this person has 4 years left, this person's on 6, and it
So
just
there'll always be one
keeps.
seat.
Right, so
Yep.
you're always gonna have 2 senior, I guess, people who've been in there with some experience, and then a new person could come in, or.
I like it.
How do we deal with
Yeah,
each
transition
election
is
2
the-
years from now?
Yeah, the transition's the tough issue.
Well, it just takes a little longer to transition.
Looking at this from the original expectations that I understood anyway, wasn't that the purpose of changing, was so that people wouldn't be in so long?
I thought the
I
purpose
mean,
was
that
so
you
we could
have a-
have full seats.
If they weren't performing the way the public thought they should, they have a quicker time to.
That was one of our discussion items,
That's been one of the points, the
yeah.
pros of
And
that.
that completely messes that up.
Right, well, as
If each person's gonna get voted or elected for 6 years, that's a long time to wait.
Yeah,
That's the.
you're working off two different problems, though. We reduced the amount, yet we still don't know if we have enough people that can run to fill all the seats. So it's a kind of a happy compromise between reducing yet still being able to fill, hopefully fill all the seats.
Would it be easier to find somebody to fill a position for 4 years than it would be to find somebody to fill a position for 6 years?
I think it would be.
Probably would be, but we haven't had,
Really attractive. Yeah, but you know, we got.
we got 50% of it filled, I guess, here.
Yeah, we certainly don't want a vacancy for 6 years. I mean, that would not be good.
But then you come back to the fact that, well, you can appoint somebody. Well, you've got to find somebody that you can appoint. And that's one of the problems that we have.
I guess, again, the nice thing about a 4-2 is if someone does get win the 2-year term, and it burns them out, then it's only the remainder of that term that needs to be filled. So,
The one thing that scares me with a 4-2, will you find enough people often enough to keep running?
Yeah, keep running. Every,
If 2 people got on and they're off, they don't want to rerun, you've got to find more people to keep running each year, or every 2 years. Man, it's tough.
well, when we had the 8 person, you always had a 2 and a 2 every single time. There was always 2 seats available on both sides. So the reality is, you're just,
do the same thing, so.
right. The reality is you just have less people, seated total. So, we've consistently had 7 seated since April 2015.
I run uncontested.
Right, but I'm just, I'm just, yeah.
You know, so,
That's because not everybody knew they could.
yeah, right.
Too scary.
Okay. So I guess going around, is everybody, so if we put together a 6 person
Well,
scenario?
if you do the 6-year thing as an option, otherwise, I guess my end, I would go for option B on the 4-year plan. That would be my,
I tend to do that.
but maybe,
The only thing I worry about in the 6th year is, those of us that have been here and you realize, oh, it's not that bad, it's, I kind of like it, but to get new people interested that have never done it, 6 years is a long time. I think. That's just coming from an outsider's perspective. But.
It's also a long time if you get stuck with an ineffective council member too.
Yeah.
I think it's 4 years can be a long time.
Oh, no, I can resign.
Yeah, we can't force you.
Well,
Sure you can.
Community pressure does have a big effect on the council. I can think of council members that have resigned in the past because of just discomfort with the community.
Oh, yeah.
And so, there are natural things that'll get a person to resign. I don't know that we need to worry too much about a person that we may not like. It's still the will of the people. If they vote them in, they've got a right to serve.
And that can happen at any time with any structure that you have. Somebody gets tired of it, remove or.
Well, could we even just narrow it down to the first most popular two? I mean, after discussing it, I'm probably not for the 6 year. I'm probably down to the 4B and 4-2. 4-year B and the 4-2, personally. 4B or, yeah.
Or the first option. I think that's where I'm at too.
When we, yeah.
Yeah, I would say the
And I
same.
think I'm a little more toward the 4-2.
If I had to choose a 4-year, I would be with the B, just because there's it's more consistent, at least, yeah.
But,
We had
How
4-year,
long-
we had 4-year terms on a 5-member council, and it was always 3-2. I mean, people are, it was odd, three seats up and 2 seats out, 3 seats.
I'd support the 4B and, or a 6, either way.
Sounds like 4B's getting pretty popular.
Let me throw this out. We had a discussion of term limits then last time. Where are we at with that if we keep the 4-year?
Keep it 4-year, let's
Keep
just
the-
keep it
keep the
2
two
terms like we've always
Then
had.
then you would get rid of, that would be the nice thing, you would get rid of any changes to the term limit rule.
I just want to make sure. where we're at.
That's,
Yeah,
she,
4 years and they can serve 2
Two
terms.
terms.
Yeah. Which is where we are currently, so.
That makes it closest, I think, to what we are without.
Yeah, I think, yeah, from an outside, or our citizens'
Because that
perspective,
way, if
maybe.
somebody likes it, then they can
Then
agree
run
to
them.
serve for another 4 years. And if they don't, they can get out after 4 versus having to go another 2 years if they just keep it. Which then you could run into the fact that we're a lot tired of this, so they just don't start showing up to meetings.
Well, then,
But we've had that before. I mean,
for transparency, we need to ask the obvious question of, if you're already about to term out and we make this change, does it change the rules since it's now a new, since I'm going from a 3rd ward and now there is no 3rd ward, do I have the option to run again? Or
Well,
must I sit out?
We had that
We
discussion.
discussed
last-
that,
yeah.
that we would
I don't
add.
think we ever decided anything, though. I
No, we
think-
just
I
kind
think
We discussed it,
talked
yeah.
We just
What was
discussed
the
that.
decision?
No decision.
Well, at that time, if we were gonna do the 4-2, we were gonna do 3 terms. So it really was kind of a moot point. But if we're sticking with our current term limit, then we need to have that discussion. Do we start over, or allow people to start over with their new Ward 2? Or, and it's really only affects us right now, so 10 years from now, it's not going to matter. But we do need to,
Well, I would abstain from that discussion, I'd just like to know,
right,
I mean,
yeah.
I did, I brought it up last time.
I mean, to me, you're changing the whole structure of everything. I would think it all starts all
They
over.
represent a new group of people.
Yes.
That's how I would look at it.
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah,
he's
he-
up, you know, he can run again.
Yeah.
Lloyd can run, or whoever, you know.
Yeah, you basically start fresh.
Yeah.
The only position that doesn't is basically the mayor, because the mayor doesn't have it, you have to structure.
And then, so those that are November 19, again, you would have your 2 new terms, and then after that, it's really not about, I mean, it's a moot point at that point.
Yeah, just for this initial transition.
Just for those 2 elections.
And I'll only have one term after this one. Yeah, 2 more. Oh,
Because then the only ones of them that would be up would be 19, myself and Andrew.
And Lloyd.
Yeah, you're 19.
And
Lloyd and Lee.
And Lee.
So then
Before
when,
two.
when November of 19 hits, then we would have reached our 2 term limits. Yeah, so we'd have to go on.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Okay. As I say, or you can start it all over.
Because it's a new ward,
It's a new, I mean,
it's a new group of people.
Yeah, because none of us sitting here were elected necessarily by the ward we will be in.
Only half of it.
elected by half of us.
So technically, based on what we're saying, you'd be eligible to run 2 more terms still.
Yeah,
yeah,
right,
Yeah,
everybody.
Matt could run again and again.
everything starts fresh.
Yeah.
yeah.
If you wanted to.
Because we are gonna have an open seat there, because Tom
Yeah,
can't
the
run
mayor.
again.
We're not affecting that, so that would be.
Yeah, I would have no problem with just calling it fresh start for the next cycle, so we would just say, okay, everyone's, unless you're currently seated, obviously, but you would just basically start over.
And why do we have a term limit for the mayor?
What was that, Dave?
I said, why do you guys have a term limit for the mayor?
I don't think that was, that was decided before we got here.
Because they don't know.
No, we do. The city does have that. It's a different position than the
It's a
council.
good
for sure.
question.
Well, I think, the one thing I do like about term limits overall is that it encourages new ideas to come into a council and to a mayorship versus if you allow someone to sit for their entire life, basically, kind of. Right, you get people who are very popular but don't necessarily bring anything new to the table every time they come in. And they may be sort of stuck in their way of not being willing to think or accept new ideas. That's the drawback of allowing someone to constantly run.
We can take that.
I don't know, I think a mayor thing, I think that's pretty out there. I mean, I'd be a guy that's mayor for 12 years. You can beat anybody.
Mayor for life, Tom, now.
I'm just saying. You know, I just,
You go through my
leadership's a valuable
gonna
thing to
stick around
have.
that long. You know what I mean? I'm with you. Leadership's a valuable thing to have, and it's a hard thing to find.
Yeah.
And when you do find somebody that wants to do it and they do a good job, it really stinks that they've got to turn out. So I'm with you there. Man.
It's just, I'm just saying,
I
it
hadn't
is
thought
different
about
than a council position, he's not voting. So I'm just curious, you know, just for consistency of the body, and that position may decide not to run again. In 2 years, or a year, I might regret saying this too.
Are the term limits a charter ordinance, or is that a,
Yes,
it is, so it would be a 3/4 vote to change that? in council?
2/3.
Yeah, I'd be saying it's a charter ordinance itself.
And I'm not sure when
Everybody
that was
else around
done,
the table, you know, I
Which-
enjoy this too.
that he was
And
on
then there
there.
comes a point where you don't want to do it.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
think so.
the opportunity, you know, looking 4 years down the road, yeah, I'd probably be interested, but right now, you can't say that because you're termed out, so.
Absolutely, and that's very true. I mean, I only made it 6 years, and I was like, okay, I'm done for now. You know, so it felt like decades. But, you know.
And then at the same time, you know, it's like everybody else, if people, the voting public doesn't like it, they can vote you off, you know, you get voted out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that,
Yeah, I think just because that one's a little bit more, it's visible, it's kind of like the president almost, where people kind of focus on it. They don't like how the direction the ship goes. That person get picked off pretty easy, where then the council member can kind of hide. It just feels like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes they can kind of get their group together, but when you're at large and the mayor, you're pretty visible. It's,
even if you up the limits to 6 and 6. I don't know, just thinking out loud.
I'd like to open it up to anybody in attendance here, if anybody else has any ideas to offer or suggestions. I'd like to hear it.
Scott?
It's date night,
Yeah.
got my date with me.
I kinda like the 6 year. I like having, every 2 years, have one on each ward. But I also see the point of, I like the 4B also. That makes it, I mean, 2 years, just 2 people every 2 years. And I think that would make it, yeah, maybe harder to find somebody to get in there, but you're only trying to find one person from each ward every 2 years. And it makes it maybe a little easier to find just one
The
person.
best person, right?
What do you think, Chad? The wheels are turning there.
I think anybody that's looking at it with any kind of objectivity or common sense is gonna think pretty much what you guys are thinking, either the 4B or possibly the 6 thing, because there are a couple drawbacks, but there's advantages to it too. And I don't know that you can go wrong with either one. And like Scott said, you know, one of the concerns was, well, do you find people to commit to 6 years? Well, it's only one every cycle. That balances that out some. There's a couple drawbacks to it, but there's more advantages to it than I think drawbacks.
But, you know, when, you know, we talked a little bit earlier, when people committed to 2 terms, that's 8 years.
you know, and then we've had a fair amount of us around that long, you know, and a little longer. So there are people out there who will commit to a longer time. Because the nice thing about it, then you don't have another election in a few years. And, you know, sometimes that's a pushback of having to actually run for the office.
I was covering the council for the call years ago when they did the term limits. And when they got done, I think most of them weren't really sure why they did it. I mean, that's kind of, a, you know, we need term limits, and okay, they got them and now, you know.
Well, we just do away with term limits.
I
The
hate to
voters
say it,
will
but a lot,
eventually take care of it.
a lot of times the reason you have term limits is someone's unpopular inside the council per se, but not necessarily unpopular with the people he lives with and vote for him. I mean, just look at our presidential election. There's a ton of people who would have voted a third term